time to call the big Waaagh or the small Waaagh, depending on how many models are in this.
It's time for the Mushroom Men, the boys in green. It's time for some orcs. We're going to be looking at
militant fungi.
The militant fungi, the screaming Mushroom Men. Yeah, 2,000 points. It's another army breakdown video. It's following another codex release. I was going to say custards. Nope, just done that. Time for a codex release. Are you ready to talk about some orcs? I know you're not a huge orcs fan.
I'm not a fan.
Loads of double negatives there. I wasn't sure how many there were in total.
Yeah, okay. I'll put myself. I'm not. As everyone knows, I'm not a massive fan of orcs.
Oh, so you're not.
they've got some miniatures that I want to paint one day.
Like what?
Gaz.
Yeah.
Like if
great time.
If orcs ever come up in Hero Hammer, it's Gaz. And you know what? I think I'll have fun.
Yeah, he's really
or a Stomper in a day.
Yeah. Yeah, way back when I used to have an orc army and painting Gaz terrified me at the time.
There's a lot going on for an orc.
Yeah, I had mine as multicoloured as well. I'm sure we could do like a little overlay here from back when. But yeah, I had a multicoloured Gaz. Well, to be fair, I had a multicoloured orc army. It was very intense. But yeah, we're going to talk about a 2,000 point army.
As we always say, this is G-Dub's RRP.
Oh yeah.
You can absolutely take 10 to 20% off this from our affiliate links or from your friendly local gaming store. It's also accurate of MUNITORUM Field Manual 1.8, I want to say. It's the most recent one. I forget the numbers because the number changes so often.
Yeah, it just keeps going up and up and up. How dare
Yeah, right. Let's get straight into it.
Straight into it. We obviously said last time we didn't want to cheese it by going with multiple of the same kits, but that's exactly what I've done with this. The thing is with the new Combat Patrol box is that it's my favourite kind of orcs, so I've run with that.
The problem we had with orcs is there's so many avenues you can go down.
Yeah,
it's not like custards or Dark Angels. The way you go, there's one way to go.
Yeah, I think with orc, especially with their new detachments, it makes them an incredibly versatile army. So whereas before in the 9th edition books you had like clans and stuff, I'd always run snakebites. So as far as the beast snagger stuff, like this is totally my flavour. The thought of like feral orcs riding like beasts and stuff, well in, so cool. Metal as hell. And
I don't like beast snaggers at all.
It's because you're wrong. And as soon as they released the army box at Christmas, I was like, beast snagger's amazing. I saw the army box that came out with the codex, and I was a bit like, yeah, fine.
Anyway, stop just derailing and talk about your love of orcs. What's in the box?
Beast snaggers. The Combat Patrol is lush, great time, love beast snaggers, love snake bites, so I've doubled down.
Hot take, the old Combat Patrol is better.
Idiot. 2 Combat Patrols, baby! So we have not 1, but 2 beast bosses. So that comes in at 160 points.
Okay.
We have 40 beast snagger boys. What? Love. So Beast Snagger boys, as everybody knows, are more expensive and a little bit thicker than your regular boys. So they come in at 420 points, so 105 points each, which is quite a lot, but all things considered, I think they're definitely worth it. However, they do need some rides. They need some vehicles, and we'll get onto that later, which is very exciting. Next up is 2 units of Squighog boys. As most of you will already know, the Knob on Smasher Squig is now included in the... That
was a weird one.
Why?
When it wasn't included in the...
I'll be honest, I hated it when it wasn't. Like, it was the concept of running multiple characters.
Yeah, it was really complicated to make a list out of, and especially when you bought the kit and you go, oh, but there's extra.
Yeah, it was really interesting. Like, I remember when I played orcs, it was just like, I was a nightmare for things like Assassinate, because you had things like kill rigs with whir towers, so you had like a character there, Knob on Smasher Squig, another character there, and then I remember they used to be like 60 odd points. So it'd be super cheap. They wouldn't really do loads, but then people would score loads of points against you. But it doesn't matter, we're all cool. Sorry, forgot to mention, the Squighog boys total in at 320 points for 8, which is very cool.
And like I said, that includes the Smasher Man.
The Smasher Man.
The man that smashes.
The man that smash. So that's 2 beast bosses, 40 beast snagger boys, and 8 Squighog boys, totaling at £190.
Okay.
Solid start. And for orcs being a crazy horde army, it's definitely worth it, because I think that comes in...
in weight of boys, you've got I mean, to be honest as well, if you're playing against friends, you could say I've got 20 beast snaggers and 20 boys, and you could just use those miniatures.
To indicate some level of points value for orcs, that's £190 for 900 points.
Okay.
Yeah, so
it's not bad for a horde army.
Yeah, this was the main issue I think when I was writing this list. If I went full like vanilla orcs, so like boys, trucks, all the rest of it, it would easily be the most expensive one we've done.
If the next kit is not 3 kill rigs, you've done it wrong.
It's actually 2 kill rigs.
Okay, you're halfway there.
2 kill rigs, and the reason being is that obviously we've mentioned before, don't want to cheese it because we're having multiple of the same kit.
Yeah.
I would absolutely take 3, but
I'd take 5.
yeah, all of them. Yeah, because you can have kill rigs or hunter rigs. So hunter rigs are slightly cheaper, but kill rigs are cooler because you've got this auto-hitting psychic flamer thing on the top, which is mental.
Is it Werboy on the top? Something?
Werboy, yeah, very cool. I love that thing. I think it's amazing. So 2 kill rigs sets you back 340 points or £170. It's absolutely the best kit for the Beast Snagger range, I think. When it released, it was so Mad Max. Yeah, it was an auto buy for me at the time. Love the kit so much. Oh, we actually did it on the Christmas challenge as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
Go back and watch that if you haven't already.
You put De Rig on the side.
De Rig!
De Rig and De Pig.
De Rig and Big Pig. Yeah, that was sick. Next up, obviously I needed at least one more transport because we have 40 Beast Snagger boys. So I've included a Battlewagon. Whoop whoop.
That is a granddaddy kit though, isn't it? Old.
It's one of those kits where it is old, but you also get loads of stuff in it. So you've got, you can make things like death rollers or the massive tank thing on the top. You can really kit this thing out. So you can either magnetize it or put some stuff on other stuff because that's how orcs work, and it's very, very exciting indeed. But the Battlewagon sets you back 160 points or £70, which is quite expensive. But as I mentioned, you do get quite a lot of stuff in there. So it's also a really cool kit.
Okay, what's next?
Next up is a Gorkanaut.
Yes!
So Gorkanauts don't really work in Beast Snagger stuff.
But they look cool.
They do look cool. I don't know how competitive they are now. They might be utter tosh, but it's a cool kit, and I wanted to include it. The difference between a Gorkanaut and a Morkanaut, Gorkanauts are more like punchy, more fighty. I think the Morkanaut is more shooty, if I remember rightly. And it's
yeah,
also
one's got a claw and a flamer, I want to say.
Yeah, and the other guy's got like a, what's it called?
I don't know.
It's the shield. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the shield thing, yeah.
The shield. So that sets you back 280 points or £85. So the points to pounds ratio
is brilliant.
It's back up. It's certainly better than it has been.
Yes.
But Gorkanauts are cool. And also, it felt so wrong of me to do a snakebite list full of squigs if I didn't include not one, but 2 beast bosses on Squigosaur. And of course, that means you're going to do one as normal and one as Mozrog, because Mozrog is one of the coolest characters in the Orc range.
If you do run the Squigosaur or Mozrog, what's the points difference?
So Beastboss on Squigosaur sets you back 130, whereas Mozrog sets you back 165. But considering it's £70 for both kits, it ain't bad.
So which one, have you included one of each in this?
Yeah, one of each, so totaling 295 points for £70. I think considering this is a full snakebitey themed list, you've now got 2 Beast Bosses, 40 Beast Snagger boys, 8 Squigog boys, 2 rigs, a Battlewagon, a Gorkanaut, and 2 Beast Bosses on Squigosaur. Wow.
Oh, wow. One of them is Mozrog.
Of course, one of them is Mozrog because he's the GOAT. Why not?
Okay, right. Give me the point total.
1,975 points. So
okay, so you've got a bit left over for an enhancement.
Exactly. So you've got to include those as well. It sets you back £585.
Does that include the codex?
No.
You never include the codex.
No, because
the editing me will put the codex and the data cards in. Give me that in across the pond.
So across the pond in America land, it's $975.
Okay.
Back across the pond in Euroland is 760 euros.
Okay.
And then way across the planet is $1,421 dues.
Wow, that'll make you wince.
Sorry, Australia, and that's cheap for orcs. I try to max out with this, so kill rigs are quite good, points per pound ratio. Same with the Battlewagon, maybe less so, but then the Gorkanaut is as well.
I think this list as a whole, on the face of it, blends together a model count for a horde army, but also with some variation.
Yeah.
I think, just to lean into, if you wanted to see a different version of this,
Yeah.
so if I was originally going to do orcs, but because I do everything else,
To be fair,
I delegated.
Well, you've also been on a hot streak recently. You've done a lot of the cool ones, and I've been left with like AdMech. So do me a favour. Yeah. So
I would have included.
This is like my time now, which is very exciting.
If anybody wants to see what my take on orcs would be, it would be Gaz and a Stomper. I'm telling you now, and then I'd fill the rest out with mega knobs and all sorts.
So just to put some context up in here, you've got Gazgul, which is 235 points. You've got a Stomper, which is 800.
So what you're saying is I could run 2 Stompers in Gaz and I could have a wicked time.
I think you could have more, because that'd be 1,600 points,
That'd be
1835. Yeah, you could have Gaz and...
Something.
1835? No, it doesn't quite work like that. You could have Mega Knobs and their boys. Mega Knobs, however, are in a really weird place because obviously with the new Bully Boys detachment and stuff for orcs, they're definitely going to be prevalent. But I think the reason they've done that is because it costs you like 30, 40 quid for a 3-man 90-point unit.
Yeah, Mega Knobs have always had the trend that they are one of the worst point-to-pound miniature kits.
It's like they've just gone, oh, here's a really, really cool detachment. You can really rinse the board here, but you have to pay us a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, because I think the Mega Knobs are very cool, but...
Just as a feather in the cap for orcs, I think we could easily do 3 or 4 of these videos.
For orcs especially, yeah, definitely. I think we've obviously done it for Space Marines and we'll continue to do that. If you guys want to see some more orc ones, some maybe more flavourful lists, just let us know in the comments below. Because I think worst comes to the worst, it wouldn't take us very long to do it. And also I think we'd have quite a lot of fun with it. It's also one of those armies that you've already mentioned that is so incredibly versatile that we can just keep doing it. So yeah, we could have loads of fun with it.
They're one of the few armies that you could do that easily with. Tyranids is probably one, but I don't want to ever touch Tyranids again.
I think so. Like, they have lots of flavour, but I think because of the total variance in clans for orcs, but now obviously the detachments as well, they lean very heavily into specific avenues, which I quite like.
It's very... I mean, orcs don't have a great deal of fluff in general compared to some of the other armies. But their book and all of the various attachments does feel quite fluffy.
I think so. I think orcs are certainly one of my favourite 40k armies.
I'm slowly coming around to some orc kits.
They're just so stupid and fun.
But the thing is, every time I contemplate doing anything orc related, I'm like, but Iron Jaws in Age of Sigmar are infinitely cooler. So I bought a Maw Crusher this week off you.
You did, off me. Yeah, just had it in the side.
Yeah, you got it in the Stormbringer kit. And I was like, I'll have that.
Take it. Yeet. Yeah. I think the orcs are a really funny range. I think they're certainly more grim and gribbly in AOS than they are in 40k. 40k, they still seem a bit silly.
They're too funny. Whereas I think Iron Jaws are genuinely quite scary.
I've had this chat with a couple of people before, and they've said that it doesn't quite fit the aesthetic with 40k. They're a bit too silly, a bit too jokey, but I think they're just fun to run. And I'll tell you what, though, I will say this now, and this is going to upset a few people. 9 AM turn 1 on tournament day, when people start screaming Waaagh, not fan.
Yeah.
I don't... Because initially everyone's like, oh, it's time for tournament day. Like, that's quite fun. But then...
The first one is funny, but obviously because orcs, either rightly or wrongly, are a popular army.
Yeah.
It's the 3 or 4 Waaghs at 9 AM that's...
Yeah, when you've got multiple... They start competing with each other, all
yeah,
players.
They do.
Like, who Waaghs the loudest. It feels very orky, but part of me is just like, get some help.
It's the Sunday morning one that everyone's like, oh, really?
Yeah, please.
We're here again?
Yeah, I think if I did it on a Sunday morning, I think I might throw up. I think that'd be so unwell.
I mean, just to play devil's advocate, if that's how you have fun with your army, then crack on.
Yeah, what we're saying is, like, we're not into it, but do what you want, because it's your hobby. And if you enjoy it, go with it. But
you know who else enjoys their hobby? These people.
All on this list here. All of our patrons and YouTube members.
If you want to be one, hit the join button or hit the Patreon link. You get some nonsense benefits.
Yeah. But ultimately, you help us make some great content. And that's the most important thing. When we say great, we mean our best.
Keep the hobby lights on.
That's it, the hobby lights. They be burning. And also, we've started doing live streams, which is very, very exciting indeed. If you'd like to join one of those, keep an eye out for our socials and also the links via the YouTube community bits.
If you want to buy some orcs, Hobby Workshop, Element Games,
lots down below.
Affiliate links down below.
Absolutely, indeed. Go buy yourself a kill rig, go buy yourself Mozrog and all of the Squig boys because they're the coolest kits. And that is the tea. Waaagh, and bye.